Welcome to another edition of the Balking Den. And I'm your host, Sharpie's Bets. And this show still sponsored by Prize Picks. So go on over there, use promo code PUBSports, and do yourself a favor, do us a favor, and get your first deposit up to $100 match deposited to you. And you only got to roll that over one time, and it turns into real money. So, yeah, use promo code PUBSports. And then we get into yesterday, guys. I didn't even want to fucking wake up. I lost so much money yesterday. I don't just give out fucking props. I fucking bet this shit. So let's get into a recap of me losing money yesterday. Christian Yelich, 2+ bases, looked like a fucking donkey dick at the plate and did absolutely nothing and took money from me and my family. They did refund me on Mike Trout because the game didn't go 8.5 innings for the first game, and I threw it right back down on him just for them to take more money from me. Oh, and then we get into the Dodger game. Right read, wrong guys. So definitely knew there was going to be stolen bases in this game. It was a really fucking good game. 3 people stole bags, not the name Marte, not the name Trey Turner, and Marte got his single taken away by review because it wasn't a single, he was out. So, yeah, got fucking waxed, and life's a bitch, then you marry one, and then you come to today, and you're scared to bet. So, got a couple bets in, and a few props that I bet, but we'll get into that. Let's talk about Prize Picks. 1-1 there, definitely not acceptable. We took Alex Wood over 15.5 outs. We got there barely. I thought he was going to do a lot better than that, but he still hit the outs for us. And then Marte didn't do shit. Should have ran Trey Turner, should have ran Mookie Betts, should have stuck with my big guns. And I thought that this line was off, and that's what I get for thinking. So, on to today, guys. On to today. White Sox at Rays, first game out. What up with the chat? 8 people in here. Guys, go hit the share. Go hit the retweet. Get some mother people in here. If you're in Twitter world, link's about to expire. Jump on in the chat and win some money with us because I ain't going back-to-back days losing, guys. That just ain't fucking happening. So, first game on the board, we got the White Sox and the Rays. Vince Velasquez versus Shane McClanahan. Velasquez is 2-3 with a 5 ERA and 8 starts. Plain and fucking simple. He doesn't belong in the major leagues, and he shouldn't be starting, guys. He was put back into the rotation, and due to Dallas Keuchel being designated, we get Vinny Velasquez starting today. This could be his last start in the big leagues. Now, can Vinny Velasquez come out here and put his fucking balls in my face? Yes, he's done it before, but I don't expect that. But we'll get into it a little bit. Rays over the last 15 days have been trashed. This is how Vinny, like the numbers say Vinny Velasquez could have a great day. 6.6 walk percentage, 24.3 K percentage, 212 average with a 659 OPS, and an isolated power of 180. So they are hitting a few home runs now and then, but they're just not doing the damage. I don't expect Vinny Velasquez to go more than 4 innings. Even if he is somewhat on, I expect them not to. He's been in the bullpen, went 3 innings last time, and he did do well, but that was out the bullpen. Like, I don't expect him to do well. Even though the numbers say he should go out there and fucking fire today, I expect Vinny Velasquez to get cracked. So his K-prop is 5+ at -205. And on Prize Picks, they're giving it to you at 4.5. So to hit 5 is -205, but no way in hell am I betting on Vinny Velasquez. But the numbers say go on out and take him, guys. Shane McClanahan, on the other hand, we know about Shane McClanahan. 5-2 with a 2 ERA and 10 starts. He has not allowed more than 3 earned runs in any game. He has not allowed more than 2 earned runs in the month of May in any game. The guy's just been fucking on fire. Last year versus the White Sox, when the White Sox crushed lefties, 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs. And now that the White Sox don't crush lefties, over the last 15 days, a super small sample size, so let's drop it to 30. 7.3 walk percentage, way below league average. Only striking out 20% of the time. 241 average with a 712 OPS and an isolated power of 167. So they're about 10th in the league average OPS, guys. So they are decently hitting lefties. They're just not that team from last year. And this lefty ain't no everyday fucking lefty, guys. His K-prop is at an 8+ plus 117. On Prize Picks, it's at -2.5. I mean, -205. And his fantasy score is at 40.5. No run first inning is at minus 130. And the White Sox pin is garbage. 4.20 ERA. They're 22nd in the league, guys. And 4.20, we like to smoke. And their pin is going to get smoked more than likely. Rays pin, 6th in the league, 3.23 ERA. So how do I run McClanahan? Do I want his 8Ks? Do I want his 7 on Prize Picks? Do I want his fantasy score? Like, that's the battle in my head. And I don't know. I would run his fantasy score, guys. He's done nothing but prove that he's not going to give up more than 2 earned runs. So that's going to be there whether the strikeouts are or not. I expect him to win. The books expect him to win. He's a minus 200 favorite. But I would not be surprised if Vince Velasquez goes out there and hangs with fucking Shane McClanahan. The number says that he can. And we definitely know how when we got an ace on one side, a bum on the other side tends to step it up, guys, because you're watching the guy just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Well, you got to go out there and do the same. And he knows his life's on the line, guys. So I would not be surprised if this bum goes out there and freaking has a good game, even though I will be looking at him to get lit. The one prop I did bet, guys, is Randy Arozarena. He started slow. He batted 195 in the month of April. He's batting 300 in May, and here we are into June. Versus righties, he's batting 260s. Lefties, he's batting 220. And his slugging goes up 200 percentage, and OPS goes up 200. So this guy just loves him some right-handed pitching. And so do you want his 2+ bases? I looked into that. Well, he's batting 5th today. And I expect Vince Velasquez to get into some trouble, guys. Even though the numbers say no, I think he gets into some trouble today. And runner on, cool. This guy loves to hit righties. This guy is a bum righty. And his hits, runs, and RBIs is at minus 122. So I did bet that. I'm on that. I think somebody's on base when he gets his hit, and I cash it all in one. So give me some Randy Arozarena, please and thank you. On to the next game. This game is a conundrum for me. Joe Musgrove versus Corbin Burnes. Padres at Brew Crew. 5-0 Joe Musgrove, guys. Fucking has a 1.86 ERA and 9 starts. He's been nothing other than ace status this year. 9 straight games with 2 earned runs or less. Wow. Like, just wow. Like, wow. Joe Musgrove is happy to be back home in San Diego. The kid is from El Cajon. The kid's digging the fucking that little dookie orange they wear over there. And he's been balling. So let's get to it. Last year versus the Brewers, he was 0-1 with a 1.54 ERA in 2 games. 19 strikeouts and 11 innings of work. Braves are crushing righties the last 15 days. 8.5 walk percentage, only striking out 22% of the time with a 252 average, 756 OPS, and an isolated power of 184. Those are all fucking great numbers, guys, and their month-long numbers are even better. So, yes, they came down from off the moon, but they're still out of this fucking world hitting versus righties. And this is my conundrum. Joe Musgrove is out of this fucking world this year. What's going to happen, guys? Good pitching beats good hitting was what this tells me. His K prop is at 7+, minus 132. On Prize Picks, it's at 6. And 6 on the books is at minus 152. His fantasy score is at 36.5. The numbers say no on the K prop, guys, but it's not just about what the numbers say. Look what he did versus this team last year. 19 strikeouts in 11 innings. 1.54 ERA. He's got a 1.86 this year. This guy's been fucking elite, guys, and I got to expect this to still come. So I take his fantasy score over 36.5. I think he's going to be out there. We're going to have 2 aces on the mound, and we're going to get into the other ace, Corbin fucking Burnes. 3-2 with a 1.95 ERA in 10 starts. He has 9 straight games with 6 innings or more, including a game 10 days ago versus these Padres. 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run. So, conundrum. Now we get into the fucking Padres. 7% walk percentage, 22 strikeout percentage, 238 average, 618 OPS, and a 0.89 ISO. They suck, guys. They're just terrible. They're not hitting at all. We said that yesterday on the show too, but it was like they're seeing the same guy now 10 days. within a 10-day period. Granted, Hauser is not Corbin Burns, okay? I'm not going to ever freaking try to say that. But they've seen how you pitch him, and that's all that I'm going to get to in there. We get into his home ERA to his road ERA. Corbin Burns is a run worse at home with a 2.78 at home and a 1 sub-2 on the road. So I see a crooked number coming from him today, and the numbers say they should wallop Joe Musgrove, but I tend to believe good pitching beats good hitting, and that's where I'm getting into this conundrum at is the numbers say Corbin Burns should go out there and deal. The Padres can't fucking hit, except there's a thing saying that, oh shit, now there's 10 days. Well, Corbin Burns is a freaking beast at the end of the day. He's gonna go 6 innings, and he's not gonna give up 3 earned runs or more. That's still a quality start. That's still a good game. That's just not a good game to these two guys. And Joe Musgrove can either go 6 innings, 0 earned runs, or 5 innings, 5 earned runs. And that's what I don't get. And I'm leaning towards the Padres here, guys. First 5, I haven't bet it, but it's crazy. And I mean, it's crazy to say. So, yeah, his K prop for Burns is 8+ at -104. It's at 7.5 on Prize Picks, and his fantasy score is at 40.5. I can never hate anybody for looking at his fantasy score over. It's Corbin Burns. He's a beast. He's elite. He's a monster. But I'm going to stay off because the 10-day rule, guys. I have rules, and if Corbin Burns goes out and deals versus the Padres, cool. But there is some signs that saying that, maybe they do get to him today. But then again, maybe they don't because they just don't fucking hit. No run first inning in this game is -170. So if you're looking at it on Prize Picks to add to your ticket today, you're getting a -170 at a even money ticket. So not a bad value look there. Padres pin 3.71 ERA. Brewers pin 3.44 ERA. Both are top 15 in the league. And I guess I got to eat some crow about Rogers. But the only thing I don't got to eat some crow about is Hader. Because I always said Hader was number 1. And Rogers was number 2. Well, Rogers had his first blown save of the year yesterday. And, I didn't see that one coming. But, damn, good job, Brewers, for that. Shout out to the chat. I see you guys rocking. Nilo, Mr. Heat, El Dorado, my motherfucking guys, Real Deal Prime, Officer of, I got to put my hands behind the back. Yeah, Girardi got fired today. That's wild. I did not see that coming. I still got to look at some reports on why it even happened. That's absurd. And you guys rock. Before I even ask for it, we're already at 22 likes, dude. Clayton Kershaw, he's coming off the DL soon. He did just pitch a bullpen, and all systems are looking good. So, let's just get that back to it. Let's get the 30. Let's get to the 30-30. Mr. Treinta out there. I know you out there, Treinta. But I'm not going to bet any hitting props, but I am going to, I did bet one. Shout out to my guy, Noli, who gave me the number because I was chronically researching. This is when I need to go bet because I wrote it down at the end. We're going to talk about Creston Hero, guys. He's batting .364 with 1 home run off of Musgrove. I don't want him. Yelich, 278 and 18 at bats off of Musgrove. And he's coming off of 2 games with no hits. I'm not chasing Yelich, guys, and I don't hate you if you want it. He does got good numbers. He's going to get a hit. It's got to be today, right? Yeah, I said that yesterday, and the dude looked like ass at the plate. I watched his at-bats, but, maybe he changes it overnight. What I do want, guys, Manny fucking Machado, 2+ bases is at +141. Like, you're going to give me that much plus money on a beast of a hitter? Woo! Milk carton update on Maxwell Smart. Woo, where the milk carton at? Last time I put a milk carton out, he blocked me.
Sharpie.
Man.
No, bro.
Train's coming.
I don't have it on this one, sorry.
No train. Choo-choo! I'd blow out a big old bong load for the smoke, but this is sponsored by Prize Picks, so I can't do that on there. But we're gonna get to the prop though. Manny Machado, yes, Corbin Burns is a stud. Corbin Burns is going to challenge him. Studs challenge studs, and steel sharpens steel. And Manny Machado is going to get me a double, if not a home run, guys. And at plus 141, give me Manny Machado, please, and thank you. But haven't got into that game, haven't bet it. I think Musgrove's going to deal. And how do you fade Corbin Burns, bro, at the end of the day? Like, that's my issue. How? Those numbers say how. How? Number one bullshit guy. That's how. Don't be number one bullshit guy. We'll get into this game. Reds at 8.
There we go. Now I feel better.
Yeah. Okay, Nathan Eovaldi at James Caprillion. I don't know how many people know me from last year, but I was the Caprillion speaker. I had futures on Caprillion as Rookie of the Year, and he looked really good until about August, and he fell off the train like most rookies do. But then we get into this one. So Eovaldi 2-2 with a 3.7 ERA and 10 starts, coming in off of a complete game versus the Orioles. It's the Orioles, guys, so we're not gonna say too much about that, but still good props because the Orioles have been raking lately. So good job, bud. That's a complete game. Not many people have done it this year. So he's been solid in every game except one game, and that's a game where we faded him, and that's versus the Astros. He just can't pitch well versus the Astros. At home, he has a 4.67 ERA. On the road, he has a 2.97. This isn't just away, guys. This is Oakland at night. This is where the balls go to die. This is a big baseball park. This has lots of room for foul balls, and is what it is. This is a pitcher's dream to pitch in, and I think Eovaldi's going to shine. Even though the A's over the last 15 days have started to hit compared to over the month. Over the month, they weren't hitting. They were at 199 and a 595 OPS. Over the last 15 days, they're walking crap, 7.5%, 23 strikeout percentage with a 245 average and a 700 OPS and an isolated power of 144. So pretty much middle of the pack. Well, Nathan Eovaldi is not a middle of the pack pitcher, guys, and I expect Nathan Eovaldi to go out and deal today. His K prop is 6+ at minus 110. It's at 5.5 on Prize Picks, and his fantasy score is at 34.5. I'm going to be on the over 34.5, whereas I expect Eovaldi to go 7+ innings, 2 earned runs or less. And may I remind you what Verlander just did to him last game. He went 7 innings. He did give up 3 runs, but guys, he only gave up 2 hits. So 2 hits. One of them was a yopper, during the day too. So yeah, we're getting this game. We're getting Eovaldi. We're getting Eovaldi on the road where he's better. Yeah, sign me up for some Nathan Eovaldi, please. Last year versus the A's, 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run. I mean, he pitched well versus them last year, and I expect him to do well again on the other side. Now, this is the conundrum, guys. James Caprillion, he's 0-2 with a 5.93 ERA. He started the year late. He was late to spring training, so he pitched in the minors, came up. His first game, we're going to throw out the window, guys. He went 2 innings and got yopped. I knew he was going to get yopped. He wasn't looking good in the freaking in the minors. So they brought him up because, they needed to bring him up. And they gave him some run, and he got yopped. We're going to throw that game out. The next 3 games were solid, and then he's had back-to-back bad starts. Seattle and Texas. So Seattle hits, Texas doesn't. This is my conundrum, and this is where it comes back to the story telling you that I had a future bet on Caprillion last year for Rookie of the Year. Caprillion faced the Texas freaking Rangers 5 times in a 7-week period, 8 times overall last year. That is number one bullshit guy. Like, what the fuck type of scheduling is that? And as a rookie, you've seen them. So, I mean, a lot of those guys seen them, and they got to him last week. So, I think it's just a bad luck start. Now, I even though we're going to get into these absurd numbers. So, here we go. Don't be number one bullshit guy. Red Sox are crushing it. 8.5 walk percentage league average. 20% strikeout. Great. 283 average, 831 OPS, and an isolated power of 198, guys. Those numbers pretty much match up to their month-long numbers, and those are crazy. Caprillion pitched against the Red Sox twice last year. He did well versus the Red Sox twice last year. So what's going to happen? We get into bullpens, and there's there's not a difference. We're 19th and 20th. 3.86 ERA to a 3.91. Does it really matter? No, because they both have been trashed this year. The Red Sox have been horrendous at closing games out. No run first inning is at minus 130. The conundrum. I haven't bet this game. I'm being really pussy today. I'm sure I'm going to get into it. But it's Red Sox or nothing for me. I mean, this team is crushing the ball. Yes, Caprilion's done well versus them twice. But this is a different Red Sox team. And I got to think these bats come alive tonight. But don't be surprised if Caprillion goes out and deals, because this kid is a stud. He was a number one draft pick by the New York Yankees, and he was traded in the Sonny Gray deal, guys. So the Yankees thought high of him when they traded for Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray was a beast before he went to the Yankees and just shit the bed. So they gave up somebody they thought high of, and trust me, Oakland knew what they were getting when they got him. So Caprillion will be a stud, guys. This is his second year in the league. He hasn't seen much minors because he's a beast. So, yeah, this might just be an under first five spot for me now that I'm just talking myself into that. So the one bet I did bet, and at first I was going to say, like, no, I don't want to bet minus 130 prop. And I was like, wait a second, dude. I'm taking these plus money props and losing some days, but I'll bet minus 130, 40, 50 on a money line for a team. And a lot of these minus 120, 130 things are cashing. When I stayed off Mookie Betts yesterday at minus 124, he cashes. When I stay off these guys at that number, I'm noticing it cashes, but yet I'll bet that on a money line on a baseball? No, dude, let's like say value. Value isn't fucking value if it doesn't cash, guys. So a lot of people will use the word value or this number's got value. It's not value if it doesn't cash. So give me Rafael Devers, 2+ bases is at minus 130. I did bet it versus right-handed pitching. He's batting this absurd versus both guys. Let's just get that. But he's batting better versus righties, guys. 332 average, 631 slugging, and an OPS over 1,000. Yeah, give me Rafael Devers 2+ bases minus 130. Even if Caprillion is on, I don't expect him to go more than 6 innings, and then we get into one of the league worst bullpens. So I expect Devers to rake 2+ bases minus 130. I'm on it. Shout out to the chat though, dude. I do appreciate that, Dono, dude. You fucking rock. I will put out a milk carton for you today, but he won't respond, and I'll probably get blocked. But my guy JPZ, motherfucking Guillermo, you ready for a real breakdown, Guillermo? We got one coming up on our Doyers, my guy. My guy Preston and Noli. We got the crew up in here, guys. Join the chat if you guys haven't. 31 in here, 28 likes. Smash it like I smash BBWs. It's the weekend. We need a plus 700. 2 in 1 night. Well, let's get into this game. The last game. I do have a bet in it. I'll tell you it when I get to it. Mets at Doyers. Chris Bassett's 4-2 with a 3.66 ERA. He's been everything plus more as advertised, and he signed for a measly $8 million. That's just a great signing by the New York fucking Mets, guys. Like, at the end of the day, like, bravo. I wish the Dodgers would have. I mean, we gave Haney $14 million. We gave a bunch of other bums money. Like, who overlooked Chris fucking Bassett on the Dodgers, guys? Like, really? All right, but whatever. Let's get into it. He's been a beast every game this year except for 2. And St. Louis and San Francisco. So what do they have in common? I had to go look into it. They were top 10 and not striking out. 20.5% or lower. Well, let's get in the Dodgers versus right-handed pitching. Dodgers over the last 15 days are absurd. They're walking 10.5% of the time. They're striking out 20.9% of the time. 269 average, 815 OPS, and an isolated power of 199. So he's gone up against 3 top 10 hitting teams. The only time he did well was versus the Phillies last week, and that was in a Sunday night spot versus Aaron Nola. 2 aces, or Nola's an ace. Chris Bassett is considered an ace, and he's a number 2. So you have 2 good pitchers on the mound, and it was just back-to-back fucking good pitching. We'll get into Tyler Anderson, and Bassett's K prop 5 plus minus 157, 4.5 on prize picks, and his fantasy scores at 27.5. I'd be looking at fading Bassett's fantasy score today, guys. And Tyler Anderson, on the other hand, is not an ace, even though his numbers will tell you that. He's 6-0 with a 2.90 ERA and 9 starts. All right, bro. All right. Call me fucking dumb, and I will apologize to you tomorrow and start looking at you differently. I do know a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy, and it may be the same guy who told us that Tyon was going to fucking deal yesterday. That inside guy, bro, knows something, guys. So, I asked this guy, is Tyler Anderson the same pitcher, bro? And, he goes, no, he's not. But he's still Tyler Anderson. So, yeah, you don't get really answers. He did change up some pitches, guys, but at the end of the day, guys, he's not what the numbers are projected. He's had a lot of favorable matchups, and today this is not favorable to him, guys. He gets a team coming in over not walking, which isn't good, 7.5%. They're not striking out, 14.7%. 310 average, 810 OPS, and an isolated power of 175. They're tearing the damn cover off the ball versus left-handers. And there's two guys on their teams that I looked at props before I get into some stuff, before I get into his K prop, but Marte, I thought I wanted to look at, and Lindor. And those guys hit righties better than lefties. And Lindor's not playing because he's hurt right now. And that's great. Put in a guy who go freaking rake lefties for me. So Tyler Anderson's K prop is 5 plus minus 118. It's at 4.5 on prize picks, and his fantasy scores at 30.5. I'd be looking at the under on that. No run first inning is at minus 120. So the bet I do have in this game, side totals wise, is the under-over is at 4.5 first 5. I've got my ass kicked the last 2 days, so I bought it down to a 4 at minus 135, and I'm on the over. I think both these guys get their asses handed to them today. I think we get to see what everyone thought they were going to see last night, and I think that comes to fruition tonight, guys. Mets pin, elite. 9th in the league with a 3.43, and Dodgers pin is 3.24, 7th in the league. That's why I'm on this first 5. I'm attacking both these pitchers and both these numbers. No run first inning is minus 120. Let me get into some props that I bet and that I wanted. I wanted Brandon Nimmo. He's not on any books and he's not injured, even though he did take 2 days off a couple games ago, but then he was in the lineup for 2 games. But yet, coming off of 2 games with no hits, or 3 games with no hits, which is terrible. He hasn't done that all year long. And in the month of May, he had 22 of 24 games he had a hit in. So he rakes left-handed pitching. He's got a 300 average with a 930 OPS. Fuck. He's the leadoff hitter. This team hits lefties. And I want his hits, runs, and RBIs, guys. So it's not out yet. I want it. If his 2+ bases is at crazy money, I want it. I think this guy gets a double today and scores. I mean, I'm on both these guys to get hit. And how could I not play my guy, Mookie Betts? You're going to give me plus 110? That's disrespectful, bro. Disrespectful. Mookie Betts? Did you not see the month of May this guy had? Are you kidding me? Whatever, bud. Whatever, bud. Give me Mookie Betts 2+ bases, please and thank you. Plus 110. On the other side, you're not ready for this. Mark Canha. 2+ bases is at plus 135. Mark Canha? Huh? That old fucking grumpy old looking man over there, bro? Like, really? Bro, like, I was watching the Dodger game yesterday, guys, and I love watching with the volume on. And I'm listening to the game, and they go, let me tell you a secret over the last 4 seasons in the MLB. League leaders in OPS, you had Mike Trout, you had Aaron Judge, you had number 5 Mookie Betts, number 6 Mark Canha. What? So in the same conversation, Buxton was in there too. So is it the same conversation as Trout, Judge, Mookie Betts, and Buxton? You got Mark Canha, and nobody's freaking talking about this guy? This guy's done nothing but rake all year long, guys, and Tyler Anderson ain't nothing to write home about, guys. He's done well versus bottom barrel teams, and he's got hit versus teams that could hit. I expect him to get cracked today, guys. So I will be on Mark Canna 2+ at plus 135, and I want me some Nimmo if they give me him. So Taylor fade. I'm getting back on track. I gotta get back on track. Kids might be eating butter noodles tonight. But let's get into the prize picks, guys, and let's cash. Prize picks wise, we are going to take 3 things today. Tree fitty. Randy Arozarena. I'm already on him prop wise betting. Versus right-handed pitchers, he's 40 points better average, 260. 200 points better slugging at 440, and a 740 OPS, which is another 200 points better. So he just hits right-handed pitching better. Vince Velasquez is nothing to write home about, and the White Sox bullpen is 22nd in the league with a 4.20 ERA. So what is Randy Arozarena going to do? He's going to smoke these dudes up for us. So we want his fantasy score, guys. He has 8 stolen bases on the year. And he's humming in the month of May with a 300 batting average after a 195 in April. So we're getting a guy where he hits better versus righties. He's batting 5th in the lineup, so there's going to be ducks on the pond. There's going to be steaks out there for him to eat today. So I did bet him hits, runs, RBIs 2+ at minus 122, and his fantasy score is where I'm at on that. Then we get into Nathan Eovaldi's fantasy score. I expect this guy to go out there and do what he's been doing, guys, and that's 6+ innings versus teams anything other than the Astros. So he dominated versus this team last year. He pitches better on the road with a 2.97 ERA on the road compared to a 4+ at home. He's getting a team that is hitting better the last 15 days, but they're still just middle of the pack. And Eovaldi is not a middle of the pack pitcher, and I expect him to have the lead, if not get the dub tonight. So 6 points for the win, 4 points for the quality start, and I expect 2 earned runs or less from Nathan Eovaldi today. Then we get into Rafael Devers. Over 1.5. I bet it at minus 130. We're getting it at minus 130 here. The guy just crushes any type of pitching, but when we get into slugging and OPS, it just goes through the earth to the moon versus righties, guys. He's at 631 slugging and 1,000 OPS versus righties. So give me him versus Caprillion in a big ballpark. Just slap that shit in that big part of the field and get us a dubski, guys. Minus 130, I bet, and over 1.5 on prize picks is a steal because you're getting that at even money value. So, yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep rolling. And shout out to the chat, guys. You rock. Shout out to Dorado for the donation again. You freaking rock, my guy. Smash the like if you haven't. 30? Can't hit 30? Come on, man. Dirty 30. So go on over to Prize Picks. Use promo code PubSports if you already have it. And get your first match deposit up to $100 match deposited. And do us a favor, do you a favor, and make some money. Tail me, fade me. It might be the time to fade me. So, yeah, we'll figure that one out tonight when the kids aren't eating or not. But until next time, I'm still Sharpie's Bets.